I needed to come live and train on this because the be the authority content advice is getting out of hand. And it's starting to trigger me just a little bit. Not because I think people are wrong for coaching on this topic. I don't think anybody is trying to intentionally steer people in the wrong direction by saying you need to become the authority in your content. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're using this be the authority advice because they heard it from someone else. They're copy and pasting that coaching into their business. And they think they're teaching it in the way that they should be. Except I'm having other coaches come into my world. I'm meeting with these other people who have been given this advice. I look at their content and I can tell within 2 seconds that they've been coached to become the authority in their content. And to be honest, their content is giving the ick. It's being misinterpreted. This advice is not being actually coached. It's like people think that they have to claim being an authority when they actually already are an authority. If you ever have to feel like you have to change who you are just to be taken seriously online, you aren't hearing the coaching advice the right way. Being the authority doesn't mean for you to change your presence. It doesn't mean for you to change who you are in the way that you coach behind the scenes. Being the authority is actually trying to rip out what you do behind the scenes with your paying clients and portray it in your front-facing content. That's all that this means. We're about to shift your perspective on authority in this little training right now because you are so powerful. You have so much presence in your behind-the-scenes spaces. Your paying clients love what you do. You transform people. You are quite literally brilliant at your craft. Yet you're not putting that energy in your content, and then you hear that you need to be the authority, and it's like you're now repelling people away from you. Not in a good way. The problem with this be the authority advice is that a lot of us, myself included, at one point I did this, you take this literally. You take this advice literally. Be the authority. Like you turn into this bad cop, if you will. You turn into this like really aggressive version. You start talking at people and you create content that feels like you're attacking your audience. You might even over-explain. Maybe you have to like over-prove what your stance is on certain things. You try too hard to be polarizing, and being polarizing is a good thing. Trust me, I fully believe in that. But I also don't believe that you have to be polarizing the same way Sally does it or Cheryl does it. Like you be polarizing in the way that you actually believe in what you believe in. And just a reality check, being an authority doesn't mean that you shout at your audience. It doesn't mean that you have to talk down to them or position yourself as better than them. Being an authority in your content, being an authority period, what it really means is for you to model leadership in your own way. You are a leader. You are an authority. You don't have to change anything you're doing except for to tweak a little bit of how you express your energy in your content. If your people that pay you to get into your world love you, which I know that they do, they stick around for a long time, they keep buying offer after offer after offer, you don't have a problem getting repeat clients. You just want new clients. But people that get into your world, they actually love your work. So it's about you showing that energy to your public audience. It's about showing up in the energy of someone who naturally leads. Authority isn't about telling people that you're powerful. You shouldn't have to tell anyone that you're powerful. That's an unspoken conversation. People can almost like smell your power. That's what you should be portraying. This is all about demonstrating the standard that you hold for yourself, by the way. We know that you're a good coach because you live different. You aren't average. You do things differently. You go above and beyond. You are very disciplined. You have so much drive. The vision that you hold for yourself is insane. It's out of this world. You hold yourself to a different standard. That is what it means to be the authority. How can you put that into your forward-facing content? And I'm talking about not just in your feed, not just in your carousel swipes and in your reels. How can you demonstrate and document this in your stories, your Instagram stories? If you're living differently, you're moving differently, you're showing up differently, you better tell the world. You better show the world. And this comes down to the way you tie your shoes. This isn't anything like mind-blowing. We were talking about this today inside of Rich Bitch Energy. It's like the big milestone steps are amazing. They're great. But it's all the small things in between that really add up to the big things. And I know that's cliche. I know you've probably heard that before. But how are you showing that you do those little things? That you do the things that when people aren't watching matter the most? If you think about the people who really inspire you, like when I think about like a Tony Robbins or even like Taylor Swift, they don't force their authority on us. They don't force their power on us. They don't have to tell us that they're amazing and great. They just naturally command the respect. They command the attention because they're embodying the energy of which they hold themselves to a higher standard just by being who they are. And all of this to say, there's so many different ways you can post content. And honestly, you don't have to pay anyone to get content ideas. You don't have to pay anyone to go find a framework on how to create a caption. You don't have to pay anyone to find out what the latest trends are or how to have like a content calendar. You can find all of that for free. That's the bare minimum. Creating content, like creating an offer suite, creating emails and a funnel, like all of those things, bare minimum. That is great strategy. It's super important to master those things and to apply them. But to go a step further is to really dive deep into understanding this concept of being the authority actually just means portraying more energy. And that never ends. The strategy will come to a halt. You'll be like, okay, I feel like I get the strategy. I feel like I understand it. I feel like I can get into the hang of this. I post consistently. I email consistently. I effortlessly sell people into my world. How do I bring it to the next level? You portray more energy. You show up differently for yourself again. You take it up a notch. All of these things compound. Standing out in this world of online, of social media is not about trying to outdo one another with the way that our posts look, with the way that we sound in our content, with our messaging tweaks. That's not what it's about. Standing out here on social media is not about trying to be different. There's a million other people teaching what you teach, coaching what you coach. But actually standing out here is going to happen when you realize that you already are standing out and just embodying that energy more so, stepping into it more so, owning it more so. You don't need permission to do this. You don't need the permission to take up space. It's like, I was thinking about this earlier. I had a brand photo shoot a couple weeks ago. And while I was getting my photos taken, I had on these really cool outfits. Like I really did it big this time. I've had multiple brand photo shoots. I've never done one to this degree with the way that I embodied my energy. And as she was taking my photos, I literally thought to myself, am I getting my photos taken right now as a person who is making 10, 20K months? Or am I getting photos taken being a woman that's making multiple six-figure months? What would that look like? How would I pose? Would I need her to direct me, or would I just land into my next pose because I'm that bitch? I know what I'm doing. And it truly is those small things where you just switch up a little bit of energy. You just shift a little bit. And it takes you quantum leaps to where you want to be. I also played college basketball. And this whole thing about being the authority got me thinking about playing college basketball because I know good coaches, especially in the world of basketball, but now in this industry of online coaching, I know so many good coaches. But specific to basketball, because March Madness is in the air, good coaches do three things really well. The first is they know their players. Even the ones that aren't on their team yet. They know who they're recruiting into their space. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They know what their desires are. They know what makes them tick. They know what motivates them. They know what they deeply want out of life. And they know how to speak to them. They don't have to go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, can you give me a script of what I should say to this recruit? Can you give me a script of what I can say to my strongest player? to get them to move differently. It just comes to them because they know their people. The second thing that good coaches do in the basketball space, they know the game like the back of their hand. It's crunch time. It's fourth quarter. There's 10 seconds on the clock and they're down 2 points. They know what play to run. They don't have to look in their book of strategies and see, what play can I run for the last 10 seconds? They just know. And in fact, sometimes they'll use their artistry to create a play that maybe has never been created before. That's how much they understand the game. They know the small details that get missed by everybody else. The third thing that good coaches do, they know how to win. I remember I was getting recruited to play college basketball, and this one coach said to me, I didn't even end up going to this school, but this one coach said to me, I don't just coach you to win, I coach you how to repeatedly win. And that stuck with me because I was like, that's cool, like a really cool way of looking at it, such a small nuanced thing. But good coaches know how to win over and over and over and over again. They haven't just gotten one win, they've gotten multiple wins. And they know how to repeatedly succeed. And failures to them, scary little moments, risks that they need to take, that doesn't make them sweat. They actually seek those things out. Those are the 3 things that good coaches do, none of which has to do with them telling themselves, I need to show that I'm an authority here. All 3 of those things actually just make them an authority without them having to even second guess it, without them even having to think that I need to position myself as an authority. They already are. So for you as a coach in your space, I don't care what your niche is. You might be a human design coach, a macro coach. You might be like teaching on emotional regulation. You might be a content coach. You might be a run coach. You might be a business coach. I don't care what you are. The 3 things that you need to portray in your content is that you know who you're speaking to. You know them inside and out. You know the strategy as to what you're coaching on. You know it like the back of your hand. And 3, you know how to win. And you know how to get yourself wins. You know how to get other people wins. Those are the 3 things that you need in your content, and it's game over. Stop trying to be the authority and start living at a higher standard and start showing it. Start documenting it. And that is what will magnetize people to you effortlessly. If you want to step into this level of leadership and this level of energy, I have a 10-day challenge supposed to start Wednesday. We kind of already started. I have so much to share. Like it's literally like I'm on the edge of my seat. I've been counting down to this challenge. We're going to start tomorrow with a pregame warm-up. There's already a couple of things in there for you once you enroll. This is called Rich Bitch Energy. It's a 10-day Telegram challenge. I will be dropping audio trainings every single day for 10 back-to-back days. I'm going to be telling personal stories, personal strategies, combined with giving you action items to take. This might be a content prompt. This might be an email prompt. This might be stretching you to go live on Instagram. This might be something you can send to your email list. This might be a way of just showing up differently energetically. The list goes on. I've been keeping notes in my notes app for the last 2 months on this challenge. I have so much to give you. I should have made it a 30-day challenge. It's a 10-day challenge. We might go over 10 days. We already are. This is your time to step into this space. It's $33, which is ridiculous. It should be like $3,300. This is your time to step into this space and use all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge, all of this experience to your advantage. This is not for the person who wants to stay comfortable or just learn some basic strategy that you can just Google or YouTube and find strategy. This is beyond that. This is for the woman who has been working her ass off and she knows that she's ready to take it up a notch. She knows she's ready to step into that next level. She knows that she is meant to be known in this space. She knows that she's supposed to magnetize people. She knows she's supposed to wake up to enrollments and for it to feel too good to be true. That's what this challenge is for. So if you're ready to step into this energy, if you're ready to step into this space with me, I'd love to have you. You can DM me the word rich if you're watching this live. If you're watching the replay, you can leave a comment that says Rich. That will trigger my automation to send you a link to join this 10-day challenge. It is $33. This is going to allow you to turn April into your biggest month ever. We are taking it to the extreme. I am going to have so much fun with this. Like, I'm already like, eek! Like, how often can I post about this? I already posted today. This is me going live. I will probably go live again this week because I'm so excited. I have so much to give you. I've been waiting for this moment and I cannot wait to have you inside. Mwah.